Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Friday, January 21st, 2022. It's been a morning of celebrity death. Meat Loaf Louie Anderson. Also, a smaller headline, former NBA player and Olympian, Texas El Paso basketball coach, Jim Forbes. But it was 19 days ago or so why I said, let's protect Oscar Robertson on this day because we know this is the kill date. If you're new here, maybe you don't know what the kill date is. But ever since the Sunday the day that Dick Gregory died on August 17, 2019, I've been educating about the kill date. And his death was 53 months ago. We looked it up this morning. So for 53 straight months, I've been given the lesson on the date that falls once a month, which we call the kill date. It's always full of celebrity death and other news. Like, not only is it celebrity deaths this morning, bombing, Yemen to bejesus, that's going on. Supposedly an assassination threat on a Georgia elected official. Anyway, hopefully nothing happens to Oscar Robertson today. But sadly, something's happened to Jim Forbes, and it's just this same old classic pattern again and again on the kill date. And we'll quickly go over the deaths of Louie Anderson and Meat Loaf. I just covered that in an hour-long stream on GematriaEffectNews 24, which is the latest GematriaEffectNews channel. But again, once a month, a date comes up that has numerology of 44 and 64. And in Gematria, the word kill equals 44 forward, 64 in reverse. And if you want to know how it equals that, you take the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. You run it forwards, you run it backwards. So when you run it backwards, Z becomes 1 back to A is 26. But just going forwards, K is the 11th letter using the alphabetic order. I is the 9th, L is the 12th, L is the 12th. 11 plus 9 plus 12 is 44, like kill. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse, K becomes the 16th letter, I becomes the 18th, L becomes the 15th. You add it up, kill equals 64. This man is known these days as Coach Jim Forbes, the coach of the El Paso, Texas high school basketball team. His title equals 64 when you use the alphabetic order and rules numerology. And we see this same pattern again and again. The people who die on the kill date, they often have the connection to these numbers. Like Meat Loaf equals 44. He's in the headlines today. Louie Anderson has the numbers for today. And again, it's like this month after month. Every single month, ever since the death of Dick Gregory. By the way, comedian equals 44 and 64. And Dick Gregory, the comedian, died on a 44-64 date every single month. That was the month that finally clicked in my head. I was like, wait a minute, I see what they're doing on these 44-64 dates. They're killing people that have these numbers. I've educated about this every single month, and we've always circled, the dates to look out for. The last kill date was in December. We went through in that video and circled all the kill dates for 2022. And like I said about this date, January 21st, I said not only does it have the numerology for kill, it's also 121, and blood sacrifice is 121, another familiar pattern. So you got this double whammy on this date, and who are we saying is behind this? The Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order. That's who gave us the language, the calendar, who encoded it all using this ancient knowledge from Kabbalah. And notice, Jim Forbes, born July 18th, 18/7, like 187, dead today 187 days later. That's exactly what they're coding in the Meat Loaf death headline, with everyone emphasizing Bat Out of Hell, his best album. Notice he's dead at 74. Mr. Forbes was drafted to the NBA in 1974, where Society of Jesus equals 187, like Bat Out of Hell, 187. Jesus equals 74. It's the Society of Jesus. Think about the religion, the concept of human sacrifice that does these rituals month after month by this perfect code. It is the Jesuit order all day. You can prove it all day. And I'm going to show you some things that jump out about what they're saying has happened to Jim Forbes dying on this day. Apparently, he's been in the hospital for weeks for COVID-19. And coincidentally, he goes out in this perfect code, as so many celebrities have. But I want you to see the significance of him reportedly dying from COVID-19 as the 70th overall pick during the time of all the Omicron hysteria. Remember, coronavirus was simulated by the Jesuits 1 month before the outbreak at Event 201 put on by the Jesuit Klaus Schwab. The Jesuits are the Society of Jesus. Where the Jesuit order equals 201, Society of Jesus is 187. Again, this man's dead 187 days after his 18/7 birthday. But look at this. In light of him being the 70th pick, here's the thing. We're going to come back to the Fresh Prince thing because he went to Bel Air High School and they're doing a remake of Will Smith's Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but with regards to his COVID death. He's dead at 69, which means he's dead in his 70th year of life. And again, for people who don't comprehend that, tell me something. When you're born, your first year of your life from the day you're born until you turn 1, are you in your 0th year of life or are you in your first year of life? As you know, you're in your first year of life until you turn 1. Then you begin your second year of life up until you turn 2. So him being 69 means he's in his 70th year of life. And here's the thing about 70. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology, coronavirus, COVID vaccine, Corona Del Mar, remember that's where Kobe was buried right as coronavirus was kicking off. They're all 70. They're also all 56 forwards like Jim Forbes is 56. That's who's dead. But the thing about 70... What did I do here? Did I not get the screenshot in here? Again, he's dead from COVID-19. But here's what I want you to see about Omicron. Omicron is a Greek letter. And it is in the Greek counting system known as isopsophy. I must have forgot to put the screenshot in here. Well, there's a Greek counting system known as isopsophy. I know I got the link, so we'll go to it. But in the Greek counting system, which is the same as Gematria, the practice coding numbers into words, the letter for Omicron has a numerical value of 70. Omicron's numerical value is 70, right? That's all the hysteria right now. Omicron, Omicron, Omicron. And again, coronavirus, COVID vaccine, 70. So in that same cipher, so is United Kingdom. You might recall when the UK strain was a new thing back in 2020. I think it was like at the end of 2020, if I remember right. The UK strain, they said it was 70% more infectious, and then like 3 days later, they said, oh, never mind, it's only 56% more infectious. And Boris Johnson was 56 years old at the time, and he read the 56-page winter plan about what to do about, coronavirus. And above the door at 10 Downing Street, where the Prime Minister resides, is the Jesuit Order's logo, the Society of Jesus. If you saw yesterday on January 19th, 19/1 as they write it in the UK, Society of Jesus, 191 with the alphabetic order, 56 with the alphabetic order in rules numerology, 187 with the reverse alphabetic order. And with regards to the 79, Anthony Fauci, Jesuit educated, his name equals 56, like coronavirus, like COVID vaccine, like Society of Jesus. The pandemic was declared March 11, 2020, his 79th day of being 79 years old. And look at his name when I write it out. Watch how the 56 and 187 doesn't change. Anthony Fauci, 56, 187. Watch Washington, D.C. You'll see that none of the four values change. Washington, D.C., controlled by the Jesuits. All the same numbers as Fauci. That 56, 187 is a big one. Paris, France, where the Jesuits were created, 56, 187. Got that 70, too. Think about the first Jesuit pope being Francis. Francis, 70. Vatican, 70. Paris, France, 70, where the Jesuits were created. Jesuits being behind coronavirus. Pope equals 56. Remember, Kobe dead at 41 on the 41st day of the Pope's age. Kobe Bryant, 41. Traveling from Catholic Mass. And don't forget that Kobe's death was perfectly synced with Will Smith. And again, I don't want to go over all this because I've already done 100 videos on it, and I wrote a book about it. And you can read the huge chapter in this book, Number Games 9/11 to Coronavirus, on Kobe's death and coronavirus and Will Smith and everything else it was synced up with. All the cartoons, Comedy Central specials, how perfectly scripted the death of Kobe Bryant was. But remember, Kobe went from Philly to L.A., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 118, Los Angeles, California, 118, L.A. on the 118th Meridian West. Its birthday is September 4th, the day leaving 118 days left in the year. Kobe's Wizard Art series, the book series that came out right as he died, is codes 118 all over the place. Wizard, I think. It's like a Harry Potter, but basketball. But look at this. They're putting out a new show about a remake of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Will Smith goes from Philly to Kobe, right? That came out at the start of the 90s, just before Kobe Bryant became the big star in the NBA, going from Philly to LA. And again, this month, January, it just started this month, the hype for it, it was just announced in the media. We didn't hear about it before this month, but just days ago, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air reboot, that was just announced, right? This guy who's dead, this basketball player today, Jim Forbes, he went to Bel Air High School. And there it is right here. Bel Air High School, that's his education, right? So that stood out to me when I was looking at this morning. I'm always paying extra careful attention to the death rituals on the kill day because they're always big rituals. But look at this. From Will Smith's birthday, man, it's his 53rd birthday too. Los Angeles alone's 53. Like Los Angeles getting smoked in Super Bowl 53 by the Patriots, the only other team with the 53 connection. Tom Brady equals 118 as well. Anyway, 53 from his 53rd birthday to this tragedy of the Bel Air high school player, 118 days. Will Smith equals 118, also 44. Remember, that's the date numerology today. Kill 44, Will Smith 44. Remember when Will Smith, the New Orleans Saint, died? That was the same night Will Smith was at the MTV Movie Awards getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, and that year they made the stage gold and black like the Saints colors. That same night, Will Smith, who won Super Bowl 44 with the Saints after Katrina died. Because I remember it. We covered it. And don't forget, the movie Focus had just come out with Will Smith, which is about numerology. And he reveals his trick in the movie. How he tricks people subliminally with numbers. And he takes advantage of it in gambling. Shout out to Big Al. Big Al just brought home another 5 G's this week on a small bet. Small bet, big wage, big payout with the Gematria knowledge. Big Al's been doing it for I think he's been here for 5 years now doing it. And talk to Big Al. Big Al will tell you he's always gambled. He always lost at gambling. He just liked to gamble. He lost his whole life until he found this knowledge. Now he makes more from this than he does from his day job. He's the opposite of that phrase, don't quit your day job. But that's what this knowledge is. It allows you to see how evil this shit is, why we should really shut it all down. But hell, if it's going to keep going and you got to pay the bills, why not make a few small, risky bets to potentially pay out several hundred, several thousand, as so many people have done in the community? It's not just Big Al either. It's just Big Al just consistently does it. Anyway, Will Smith dead 118 days, or this man dead 118 days after Will Smith's birthday. And again, I knew to look at this. If you watch the live stream I just did on GematriaEffectNews 24, it was about the comedian Louie Anderson and the musician and actor Meat Loaf. And then we decided to look at if there were any other celebrity deaths in the headlines, and we saw his. And I saw the Bel Air thing, and I brought it up, but I didn't look at Will Smith in real time. I should have. Because as soon as I got off the stream, I was like, wait a minute, I got to see if there's something here with the Will Smith, the actor, again. And boom, 118 days after Will Smith's birthday. And the thing is, if you're new here, 118 is a number of death. So many people have died in connection to 118, including Tupac Shakur. But death and homicide are 118 in something known as Jewish gematria. Very fateful number. And, we were just talking about this on January 18th. Just the other day, 3 days ago. So, for the record, if you run Jim Forbes the other way, instead of it equaling 56, like coronavirus, which he's dead from, supposedly, Jim Forbes the other way is 43, like Bel Air. Jesus Christ is also 43. We're talking about the Society of Jesus. And, by the way, with regards to Kobe dying at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass, not only does Kobe Bryant equal 41, but so does Crucify, for the record. And yeah, I looked at the high school. There's some things that could be coincidental. I should note, though, he was on the 72 men's Olympic basketball team. And 72 is a huge number with the Jesuits. I mean, just so many rituals with the Jesuits. Trump's a Jesuit. Biden's a Jesuit. Last night, Trump was saying, Biden's our energy economy has never been worse in 72 years. He kept saying last night in his interview on 201, the big Jesuit date. But notice, Where President Trump is 72, so is President Biden, 72. And that's not an accident. These guys are both from the Jesuit fraternity. And just the Jesuits were created on a 72-date numerology. They do so much stuff with this number. But in light of all of these being Jesuit Society of Jesus rituals, again, he was on the 72 Olympics team. This comes right before the start of the Winter Olympics. And just for the record, look at the Gematria Winter Olympics and the Jesuit order. You know, he's dead at 69. But you see the pattern right there on the screen. So don't forget about John Thompson's death at age 78 on a 78-date numerology. Jesuit 78-84, forwards, backwards. First black coach to win the college championship in 84. Did it with Jesuit Georgetown. Dies on a Sunday, which, again, look at the comparison between Sunday, the Catholic day of worship. The Jesuit logo is the sun, but Sunday, 84-21-78. Look at Jesuit, 84-21-78. They renamed the coach at Jesuit Georgetown after John Thompson at the very end of 21 on a day that they improved to 5-4. And again, that was free money that game. You know, they're doing that ritual. Georgetown can become 5-4. Of course it's happening. They also did it 66 weeks and 6 days after his death. Notice Mark of the Beast is, you see how it's 5481? Look what happens when I type out Kobe Bean Bryant, his full name. Dead weekend, 1 weekend before Super Bowl 54 on a Sunday. The word sun is 54, like Jesuit order, whose logo is the sun. But you see how Kobe in reverse is 81? Remember, his career high was 81 points in his 666th game. Then he dies in a helicopter crash. Helicopter 666 in Sumerian Gematria. But, again, this stuff's not an accident, you guys. So, just real quick, Louie Anderson and Meat Loaf, the parallels, again, they're all in the news on the kill date. The numerology for today, 44, 64, and 28. 28's also a kill number. Notice how Louie and Kill are 28. Meat Loaf, comedian, 44. Comedian's also got the 64 in it like Kill. So these numbers just always coming together on the kill date over and over. Educating about this month after month. And from his death to his upcoming birthday, which is on the 83rd day of the year. If you missed my video on Oscar Robertson and why we got to protect him on this day, we talked a lot about 83 and murder by numbers. But Louie Anderson, born on the 83rd day of the year, and also from Minnesota, which equals 38, and he made his debut on national television in 84, 38 years ago. Remember, murder's 83, 38. Death, killing, RIP, all got the 38, like Minnesota. Again, George Floyd on the corner of 38th Street in Minnesota. Now Fanta, outside of Philly, in Sharon Hill. 3 officers kill a 8-year-old. The song Murder by Numbers by the Police in 83. Killing's the sport of the elite. It's as simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. Anyway, Louie Anderson's dead 62 days before his birthday. Louie 62. Louie Anderson 62. Sacrifice 62. Familiar patterns over and over. And again, Meat Loaf. Meat Loaf has the same birthday as Lil Wayne, which is the Jesuit order's birthday. And you might recall in 2016, they were both in the news close to each other for collapsing on stage. They said Lil Wayne had a seizure. But I pointed out then how they both look like Jesuit rituals. I pointed out how they both had the same birthday, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Roman history. And, you know, now he's dead. It's almost 5 years later. I believe Meat Loaf's collapse was... Hold on. What day did Meat Loaf collapse? He didn't collapse on June 13th, did he? Maybe it was June 17th. Say it wasn't June 13th, was it? Because June 13th leaves 201 days left in the year. Just like if you guys saw, the George Floyd trial starts on June 13th, and they picked the jury on 20/1, like 201. And remember, everything about George Floyd is 201. Again, I got a massive chapter in this book about George Floyd with about 100 201 rituals they've done with him, and this came out. I was done writing this, and at pretty much the end of July 2020, I added something at the very beginning of August, on August 4th, because they blew up Beirut. But, yeah, there's so many 201 rituals with George Floyd that are just undeniable. His full name's 201. Again, his death is just like Adama Traore's in Paris, France, who died on the 201st day of 2016, exactly 201 weeks from George Floyd. His baby mama, Roxy Washington, her name's 201, and a whole bunch of other shit. And remember, Lamar Ferguson, the first guy to come and speak out in Minneapolis, saying he got beat down by the same group of cops who made the national news. Lamar Ferguson, 201. Michael Brown, 201 in Ferguson, Missouri, that jumped off Black Lives Matter, which is a Jesuit divide and conquer operation. Anyway, and again, Meat Loaf, Bat Out of Hell, Event 201, the coronavirus simulation. At first, they speculated it came from a bat. Ozzy Osbourne's known for biting the heads off bats. Ozzy Osbourne, 201. Ozzy Osbourne was on tour with Metallica when their bassist Cliff Burton died on September 27th, the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. Same day that Meat Loaf and Lil Wayne were born. Ozzy Osbourne, he's got that song, Mr. Crowley, about Aleister Crowley, the occultist who was all into this Gematria thing. Aleister Crowley died on December 1st, 121. The more I think about this, I think more, I don't think these are coincidences. I think all this shit's perfectly connected. Hold on. Aleister Crowley died in 1947, the same year Meat Loaf was born. And you see how he died on 12/1, like 121, blood sacrifice 121. Meat Loaf's dead in the news on 121. Bat Out of Hell, Ozzy Osbourne, Aleister Crowley. It all fits together perfect, man. And if you haven't seen the video's been deleted from YouTube long ago, but I used to have like a 45-minute video on his song Mr. Crowley and how much shit's encoded in that. But again, it's all these same old numbers over and over and over again. Jesuits control entertainment, the Oval Office, your nightly news, your sports leagues. They got it all. All roads lead to Rome. And by the way, from his birthday, remember, the Jesuits were recognized on September 27th because it's the day leaving 95 days left in the year to counter the 95 Theses, and the movement was called the Counter-Reformation. You see how Counter-Reformation's 95? The Jesuit, Adam Weishaupt, established the Bavarian Illuminati, 95. The 95 Theses was because we were all getting overtaxed by the Catholic Church, who was fining everybody with these things they called indulgences, and the people said enough. You know, if you don't know, the Catholic Church used to be the government pretty much of Europe, and they were taxing everybody up the ass. So people said, fuck that, I'm getting out of here. That's why a lot of people set sail across the Atlantic, and you think the Catholic Church is like, well, you're not escaping us. We'll just follow your ass over there. You think you got boats? We got the best fucking boats in the world. You ever heard of Christopher Columbus? We paid for him. But anyway, think about it. This 95 number, overtaxation, what do they got us all doing now? Working the 9 to 5, getting taxed up our ass, right? You think anything's changed? These people run the world. And by the way, the whole Protestant Reformation might have been just like them, controlled opposition, order out of chaos, because the 95 Theses was pinned on Halloween, which equals 95. Remember what they did this year at the Atlanta Braves? 9,500 days after the Braves won the World Series in 95, they lose 9-5 on Halloween before winning it the next day, the 47-year anniversary of Hank Aaron getting cut by the Braves back in 74. And by the way, Braves got that 95, and Jorge Soler was the MVP of the World Series, and he signed 95 days from the World Series. You know what I mean? His full name equals 365, like the days in a year, like the sun. Going 365 days on the solar calendar. But, I'm talking about a dead coach here, right? We just got done talking about the dead coach. R.I.P., born on 18/7, dead 187 days after his birthday, right? And then they're coding 187 all over Meat Loaf's death. And, there's more to all this, but if you want to know more about the deaths of, here, I'll just tell you one more thing. He's dead 115 days after his 74th birthday, and that's a familiar pattern, killing 74, 115. You know, we brought up that Jewish cipher. Even in Jewish gematria, killing's 115. So, El Paso, Texas, 38. Louie Anderson's death. By the way, Louie Anderson, not only everything that we cover already, but by the way, I forgot to say, his show is called Baskets, and it came out 6 years ago to the day of his death. And then we got a pretty important basketball player dead today. On the day the Baskets star is dead. And, dead at 68. I mean, that's another thought right there, because basketball is 68. So I hope we don't hear anything about Oscar Robertson today or any other basketball players. But on these kill dates, there's a lot of people that get taken out, and they get chosen for a reason. And they got the numbers over and over, and the ritual and the history. New Bel Air show. He went to Bel Air, dead from COVID during the time of Omicron. By the way, with regards to him being the 70th pick and dead from supposedly COVID during the time of Omicron hysteria, again, I just got to make sure everyone saw this post from a few weeks ago. Why is everything 70 about Omicron in the headlines? Omicron accounts for 70% of U.S. COVID infections. Omicron propagates 70 times faster than Delta. Omicron people were 70% less likely to experience severe disease. Pfizer shot protects 70% against Omicron. I mean, do you think any of this stuff's actually real? I guarantee you it's not. Omicron, the news broke on Black Friday, the strain from the Black Continent, Africa, and they coded the typical 42 over it. There's a lot more to everything they did with Omicron. If you guys aren't following GematriaEffectNews 24, I mean, there was like a 48-hour period where I couldn't stop making videos because I just had to teach about the same lesson for the millionth time. You see how many black faces are up here on the screen in this period of time? All these stories, Malik McDowell, Willie O'Reed, Laurenti McRae, Justice for Fanta, the Chicago hairstylist that was gunned down, synced up with Obama's birthday, the supposed black crazy homeless man that pushed the Asian woman in front of the train, Rashawn Weaver, sentenced to prison as a teenager, the Vogue creative director, the young Canadian singer who won the award found dead in the studio. All of these stories are 42 rituals on 42 dates, a pattern I've written a book about and been educating about for 8 years. And again, if you guys go to well, maybe not on this channel. If you go to this channel, Gematria Effect News 24, and you get in like the description of any of these videos, where you have to do this show more on a cell phone, you might have to like hit a white area for something to open up bigger. It's there. They made it harder to find on cell phones, the description area, and I think that's because YouTube doesn't like people promoting their Patreon and stuff. And anyway, I have links to buy my books, but I also, if you notice, download my ebooks for free. So if you just go to that link, and there's nothing you have to do. You don't have to put in an email or anything. I just got the 2 ebooks there to download. Letters and Numbers, Chapter 18 is about the ritual killing of black men by the 42 Code. In that same book, there's a chapter that's over 150 pages long called Murder by Numbers, where I talk all about the kill date in 4464 and numbers like 187 and just everything we talked about, So all of these patterns, I got them written down in books. I got a million. For you guys who don't understand how much work I've done, I've been here. It's not a false statement when I say that I've been here every single day since 2013. For over 8 years, I've been doing this every single day. In that time, I've amassed over 40,000 blog posts, over 10,000 videos. This book and a book that's twice as big as this, and I'm about to finish my 3rd book, and just a ton of information on this. And haven't been wrong about the way these patterns work and how rigged the game is and who's behind this. Prove it every day. Same shit every day. And for the moron out there who, I don't even see the chat right now, but I just imagine there's some moron there. What happened to the Cowboys? Hey, moron, if that's your attitude, what happened to what I've done to the world of sports in the 8 years I've been here? You better check into that resume, moron, before you talk any more shit, because, again, we just nailed another college football championship from the start of the season, and we've done it for all the sports, college and pro, way too many times. And when we're off, we're only a hair off. So, again, for anyone who would ever talk shit, you're a fucking moron, because nobody's ever predicted more accurately before it happened, from sports to news to politics. Been showing how the whole game's rigged, who's doing it, who's murdering these people, and all of you who talk shit are sorry-ass maggots that really should be decomposing, because all you're doing is helping out the Illuminati with their plot. They want a bunch of useful idiots and fucking retards that are easy to just use as essentially guinea pigs in cages. Here, I'll close out with this in case you didn't know this. Time Magazine, April 22nd, 2002. I want you to see this cover real carefully. This one's for all the fucking morons out there. I want you guys to see who you are. I want you guys to understand this about yourselves. Let me see. Can you see this Time Magazine cover? How do I get this thing centered and bigger? Can you see that it says PAL's Mission Impossible, and it also says how medical testing has turned millions of us into human guinea pigs? Can you see all this? That's Colin Powell. Tell me something. What age did Colin Powell die at this year, and on what day? I know right away off the top of my head. The Jesuit Order, 201-84. Colin Powell died at age 84 on the anniversary of Event 201, the coronavirus pandemic simulation. And you see how colon is exactly like COVID in every cipher? Go measure from Colin Powell's birthday to his death from COVID. Or you know what? Here, I'll just show you right now. He died October 18th. That's the day leaving 74 days left in the year. Remember, Jesus 74. The Jesuit Order is the Society of Jesus. From his April 5th birthday to his October 18th death, take a look. They say he died from COVID, right? Is this really what happened to Colin Powell? Did he really die from COVID? You see how he died exactly 28 weeks? You know, like Meat Loaf is 28, like Kill's 28, like Louie's 28, like how they're dead on the 28 date. Like how COVID and colon are both 28. You know, pretty soon Merck will have out their COVID pills with the big 82 on the side that got approved on the 82 date numerology. You know, Johnson & Johnson, they use their subsidiary to make their vaccine that was established in 53. I can't think of their name right now, but whatever their name is equals 82, and they were established in 53. Johnson & Johnson, like so many of these big companies, bought up a bunch of other smaller pharmacy companies, and they use that smaller company to make their vaccine for COVID because it's all by the numbers. Yeah, I know for a fact that pharmacies all across the nation, when they finally approved the vaccine for children, every single pharmacy in the nation got vaccines for children that had expired in August. The whole nation did. All shipped from a military base in New Jersey, where the 201 area code is, where the majority of pharmaceutical companies. But they all got expired vaccines with a brand new sticker on them that said you can use these vaccines through this new date. And you know why everybody at the pharmacy just goes along with it? Because they all got a bunch of student debt and they don't want to give up their $120,000 a year job. That's why. So they're like, fuck it. Little cute kids coming in, why not give you an expired vaccine that was supposedly just approved and developed? Expired months ago. Must have just got approved by the numbers just coincidentally. Again, and if you guys doubt what I'm saying, I don't really give a shit. I'm telling you it's the truth. The reason I know it, sadly, is because, you know, I had this fight with Sweet Lady years ago, but she decided to go into pharmacy, so. Anyway. The good side about that is I'm getting to see just how, from the inside, how messed up some of this stuff is, but. Yeah, I mean, you guys can keep doubting the information, so. It's only your loss. It's only your loss. And for everybody out there who's saying, when are we doing the football stream? We will do it first thing tomorrow morning. The notes have been out there all week. I got another big observation for the games tomorrow, though, but I'll save it for the morning. I'll add in the notes if you guys have access to the notes. But, yeah, but we'll do the football stream tomorrow morning. So, anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll keep it short and sweet. R.I.P. to the fallen, and all you celebrities, you better look out. Better look out. Your number might be up next. Till next time.